And so that brings us to the big questions about Cam Newton. Shefty, you were on my radio show pretty much right after this happened, and even you were surprised that they released Cam Newton, as was pretty much everyone I talked to. So now that we've had a few days for you to make phone calls, what sense do you get about what his future in football looks like?
Well, let me be clear. I'm not surprised that Mac Jones won the starting job, but I was surprised that Cam got released there because that was not the result that I or many people were expecting. But ultimately, I think Bill Belichick decided that it was best for Mac Jones to have this job. So now we begin to look at Cam Newton's future. And I remind you, Greeny, that Cam Newton was on the free agent market in each of the last 2 off seasons. And there wasn't a lot of interest in him at that point in time. Now we're through training camp. You would think that it would likely take a quarterback injury. Now, there are certain places that have backup quarterback questions. You could point to Dallas maybe as one, although the Cowboys were active on the quarterback front yesterday, claiming Will Grier on waivers from the Carolina Panthers. You could look at Atlanta, where Felipe Franks and Josh Rosen have won the backup jobs to Matt Ryan. You can make the argument that Cam Newton is better than a lot of the backup quarterbacks, most of the backup quarterbacks in the league. But teams have gone through camp. The quarterbacks have been through the playbook. There's a certain chemistry and rhythm. There's the COVID situation out there as well. There's a whole host of factors. So it's not arguing against Cam Newton's talent so much as it is looking at his history of being a free agent and looking at where we're at in the NFL season right now.
Yes, and despite the fact that from all reports he was an excellent teammate, an excellent leader, an excellent mentor, and all those things while he was in New England, he still does cast a big shadow. He is a very, very famous person. So, Bart, with that thought in mind, would you want to bring him in as a backup quarterback?
It's tough. I mean, if I had Super Bowl aspirations and I knew that I didn't have the depth at quarterback, if our starting quarterback went down, I would get him in the building. I would look at Washington. That's a friendly place. Ron Rivera understands what Cam brings to the table, both from the personality standpoint, but also from the field standpoint. But I don't know if that offense is going to resemble what Cam is used to. You look at the notable plays, you think about Baltimore, you think about Arizona. Cam's going to have a tough spot, right? And is he going to be willing to go somewhere and take a gap year, much like Jameis Winston did, and try and pounce on the spot for next year and be first in line?
He is only 32 years old. I feel a need to continue to remind people of that. It feels like he's been such a big presence for such a long time. He might think he's old in that. Yeah, he might be an old 32 based on all the hits that he's taken. What do you think, Mel? What do you think of all this, the idea that he may have to go somewhere as a backup if anyone views him in that role?
Yeah, first of all, in New England, if he didn't win the job, to be a backup to Mac, you guys would be screaming every Monday and Tuesday if Mac struggled. You got to get Cam back in there. Got to get Cam back in there. He didn't want that. He wanted it to be Mac's team, good or bad, in this rookie season. Mentioned Baltimore, Bart. They really like Tyler Huntley. Tyler Huntley played lights-out football this preseason for the Baltimore Ravens. He looks like a really good backup to Lamar Jackson. I don't know where he fits in as a backup, but that's all he is right now. If you watch him during the preseason, Cam Newton right now is not a starting quarterback. He's at best a backup, and where that fit is, I have no idea.
So is it possible that we could be seeing, Shefty, I don't want to sort of ask you an almost impossible question, but I mean, is it possible that Cam Newton has played his last in the NFL?
Well, anything's possible, and you have to ask yourself, does he want to play? Do we know that he wants to play? And what team will want him? Again, I come back to this. I think it may take an injury. If there is a team that suffers an injury to a quarterback in a place that Cam fits, I think he would be logically the #1 free agent quarterback available. But every team has different systems, different styles, different tastes, so we don't know how that's going to work. Hopefully all quarterbacks stay healthy this year. It's probably unrealistic, but if and when there's an injury, you would think that Cam's name would be near the top of the list as a potential replacement.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.